behalf of Cypher, I would like to welcome you all to this continuation of our series with prominent artists across the world. Today we bring you the extremely talented Sunil Gagarian sir. And now I'll pass over to Abhi and Varsha, who will tell you a bit about our guest today.
Sir is an A-grade artist of All India Radio. After training under Nagesh Shri S. Bashyan and then Shri P.B. Rangachari, he's being mentored by Padma Bhushan and Sangeeta Kalacharya Shri P.S. Narayanaswamy.
He was awarded Best Male Vocalist by the Music Academy Madras. You can read more about his awards and achievements in the caption below. Today he will be sharing his expertise in the area of Sahitya Bhavan. But before we start, we would love for you, sir, to sing us a short piece, please.
Hi, it's great pleasure in joining you all. Today's a casual talk maybe, and also a few insights that I have been very fortunate enough to learn from greats and my gurus as well. I'll start off with a small vritham on a composition by Sri Swami Vedanta Deshikar in Sanskrit. Those are Sanskrit verses. So let me start with that note. Shriman Venkatanatharyah Kavitarkika Kesari Shriman Venkatanatharyah Kavitarkika Kesari Vedantacharya Vedantacharya Varyo me Sannidattam sada hridi Sannidattam sada hridi Sannidattam sada hridi.
Thank you very much, sir. That was very blissful, honestly. Now, sir, we're going to start our lecture demonstration. So if you please take it away on the aspects and introduction of Sahitya Bhavan, please.
Yeah. As we know, there are very many aspects to our music, to music in general. When it comes to Sahitya Bhavan, as in our music, Carnatic music is predominantly based with the equal aspects of Layam, Shruti, and also Sahityam. Agreed, music has no language, no barriers, yes. But when it comes to expressing something, the role of lyrics or Sahityam plays a very vital role. You just can sing a Varnam, Akaram, just with Akaram, but it won't convey the message or the moods of that Varnam. For example, when you take a Varnam like, for example, Begada Inta Chalamu. Inta Chalamu Jesite. Inta Chalamu Jesite Emani. He's asking. When you sing it as there's no message, there's no picture at all, right? So that's how Sahityam is important as Shruti, as Layam. And again, coming to the various languages that are present, every language has its unique way of representing every picture or the meaning of the Kriti. We predominantly know the Trinity's compositions are majorly on Telugu. Jagara Swami and Syama Shatri have composed in Telugu. Dikshitar predominantly in Sanskrit. So, yeah, the main aspect is knowing Sahityam or the meaning of the words that are being used, that you are singing, is as important as singing it in pitch or which.
So you said how you should know the meaning behind the lyrics is as important as singing it in Shruti. but of course, like many different kritis are composed in a lot of different languages. So of course, the audience won't know each meaning behind each sahityam. So in this case, how would you convey your message of the sahityam through to the audience?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. Not everyone can learn every language. So the main key is to first for you to imbibe the meaning of that kriti. Only when you imbibe that, you can express it with your modulation, voice modulations, the way you sing every sangati, the way you pronounce it. Pronunciation is also very important, right? So when, for example, when a purely bred Tamil artist tries to sing some other language, alien language like say Marathi, Abang, or even say Sanskrit. Sanskritam doesn't have a few things that Tamil has, and few things in Sanskritam that cannot be expressed as pure Tamil words, right? So in that case, you try to make sure that you know what those words mean, what those sahityam means, and try to convey it with your modulation. If that's the best thing you can do. But for that, you can also take time of your performance and just let people know what you're singing. That's another way to make them like know what it is and keep them occupied.
Also, further on to that, is it then really necessary to understand the full meaning of a kriti to convey Sati Bhavam? Or yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely, I would say it's a necessity. Yes, because one thing, you will entirely pronounce it wrong if you don't know it.
Yeah.
Second thing, the other. I mean, there are so many contextual meanings, right? When it comes to Sanskritam or even in Telugu and Tamil, the padams that are used, they have contextual meanings. So if you don't pronounce it right and if you don't sing the exact word together, like for example, Tyagaraja Swami's Ma Kelara Vicharamu in Raga Ravichandrika, it's a very common and very known kriti, right?
Yeah.
In that, Saketa Rajakumara. And many people sing it Saketa Rajakumara, which doesn't make sense, right? It's Saketa Rajakumara. There are many aspects. Again, you have to control your breathing, the way you throw your voice, the way you pronounce it, the way you pick the Kala Pramanam of the same kriti. Everything matters. So when you push it, you just have to consciously make an effort to split it like Saketa Rajakumara. Makes sense. Saketa Rajakumara. Even though it sounds like Saketa Rajakumara, it doesn't, because there's a break, right? That's how important knowing what the kriti is actually.
So, for example, in some pieces, such as Moksha Mogalada, some composers, they've had like spiritual experiences. So, how would you say, so how interlinked is religion and Sahitya Bhavam?
Oh, 100%. If you have to relate to something, you have to believe in it, right? Anything for that matter. And especially when compositions like Moksha Mogalada, or even take Ma Kelara for that, Ma Kelara Vicharamu, Maruganna Sri Ramachandra. He's again begging. So only when you go into the shoes of the composer, which you can, if you like really know the meaning and if you take efforts to know that. In Moksha Mogalada, he's pleading. He's completely pleading, and Saravati is the best choice he could have gone with. So when that kind of composition comes from such a saintly person, it definitely has a lot to do with spirituality. It necessarily doesn't have to be religious. Spirituality doesn't have to be anywhere near religion or something. It's just the way you realize what you are singing, what you're speaking, what you're hearing, what you want to hear. Everything matters. So spirituality is something very unique and personal to everyone. But I'd say it's like what is it, bread and butter. It has to be like that.
But when performing a kacheri, what expectations, in your opinion, do you have of a murdangam player to complement your sadhya bab?
Okay.
What sort of would you expect? I know it's a depth question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes. How would I put it? Okay. I would urge all students who are watching this to make efforts to learn the kriti, at least the very commonly sung ones, so that you can go with the flow of the kriti, which will enhance the entire presentation. When it comes to the way the entire concert is planned is such that the Varnam itself gives a great start to the concert, right? So what Varnam does is it lets you like feel the vibe from the co-artists in the stage. When a common Varnam and when a very known Varnam is sung, you can see the rapport between the musicians just spark like that. Whereas when you sing a rare one, where you don't like let them know prior to the concert or in advance, you know that the vibe is a little less when it comes to that. So again, it also falls on the singer. If he has decided what the list is going to be, it's best that he shares with his co-artists so that it makes easier for them. And I'll also urge both the violinists and also the percussionists to understand what layam and rhythm is. Layam is different from rhythm. Shruti is
Yes.
as same as what do you call? We say Shruti Mata Layam Pita, right?
Yeah.
Shruti is very unidirectional. It's just pitch. You have to hit that right. Layam has various aspects. Kala Pramanam, there's your Kala Pramanam, the Kala Pramanam of the song, and that right moment where you're taking that kriti, it also matters. Like you would have sung a very Chauka Kala Pramana kriti just before that. You cannot go with the same Kala Pramanam next up. It'll drag the entire mood of the concert. So you have to go with a faster one. A faster one needs to be apt to that ragam again, and also the meanings should give way to that. You cannot sing, for example, Kalai Thuki Nindru in Yajukula Kamaji, you cannot sing it faster. You cannot sing Kalai Thuki Nindru Adum Devami. It doesn't sound right? So there is also, so if you have sung a very Chauka Kalakriti, next up you can take Kumaran Tarpanin De Tudi. It gives a good peppy mood, right?
Yeah.
So those are a few intricate aspects when it comes to performing on stage. The students have to observe all this. It's very important that they learn, they go to the concerts, sit there and listen to and see and actually listen to the concert, because most of us have our mobiles in our hands all the time. We just,
Yeah.
I mean, me included, I do that.
Yeah.
So it's something that our generation is very obsessed with.
Yeah. How would you explain the importance of Sahitya Bhavan in aspects such as Neravel and stuff?
Wow. Yeah. Neravel is one of the toughest aspects in our music. Number one, the place that you choose, the phrase that you choose to do Neravel is very important. It has to have the apt meaning, because you are repeating it again and again. It should not be a bad one, right? I once, some 6-7 years back, I was participating in a competition. I was asked to select any phrase to sing Neravel. I sang a part of a kriti which didn't give a very good meaning. So, for example, I don't know the exact kriti, but let me tell this. I sang this one in a concert, Rama Niyeda. In that there are a lot of places to do Neravel, but they don't give apt meaning. Kana Saukyamuda Nerukaga Yorulaku Taku Bodhana Sukama. The meaning is not as good as you would like to do a Neravel. Whereas you can sing it in Rama Niyeda, Premarahitulaku Namaruchi Telusuna. Premarahitulaku Namaruchi Telusuna. people who don't have the what do you say, the taste of your name, will they know what worshipping you or the pleasure of worshipping you is? That can be sung again and again. It makes a lot of sense. So you have to know where you're singing, and you have to know what those words mean, and you have to know if you can sing swarams in that, or you can choose a separate place to do the swarams as well.
So, sir, you said that when doing aspects such as Naravel, it's important to choose a line with a good meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you feel like sometimes if you don't choose a line with a good meaning behind it, sometimes the Sahitya Bhavan can be a little bit compromised?
Yeah, it is compromised.
Okay.
And it's not very common that people or musicians, artists make conscious effort to choose the words which have apt meaning. I mean, all the greats have given us the path to. I mean, they have sung all the places where you can do Naraval, which are safe to do. Just go with that flow. And if you want to try something new, make sure that those words don't have a negative meaning. And not only those words, the placement of words also is very important. When you sing for example, if you take Anand Amrita Krishni, you're taking that song, and if you want to do Naraval, you cannot do it in Sananda Hridaya Nilaya. You cannot give more variations. You can just give 2-3 variations because it's filled with words. You don't have space. For Naraval, you need to have space. So that's very important. And yes, if you choose something which is not apt for Naraval, then the Sahitya Bhavam is compromised, definitely.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the balance between Raga Bhavam and Sahitya Bhavam, if possible?
Okay, it's a tough one. Yes. So when you sing a Kriti, it's 50% the lyrics, the Sahityam, 50% the tune, the Ragam. So if you are singing a Kriti, you can mean something by just saying out loud the entire Kriti. For example, Muruganin Marupayaragu Kudumeikka Onor Nilavu. You get the meaning, right? But when you sing it with the Ragam, Kudumeikku Onor Nilavu, for that, and the Nilavu and the Nilavoda and the Purnatvam you get. And also the picture of moon. You're going there, you're standing there, the coolness. Ragam Behag gives a more beautiful color to the words. So it's again 50-50. You have to make sure that every time you sing a Kriti or Naraval or a Varnam, even for the matter, the basics exercises that you sing, it has to have the Raga Bhavam. You cannot say that you're singing Maya Malagole and sing something else. It has to be Maya Malagole if you're practicing. Like even the Saralis, Jantais, everything has to have the Raga Bhavam as equal as the Swara Bhavam and the Sahitya Bhavam. That's a good question. Thanks.
Also, sorry, when attempting Laya aspects such as Sangadi that involves Tisram, is there a compromise of Sahitya Bhavam when doing that? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how?
If you listen to the greats of this field, Carnatic music, as in, you cannot see any legends doing, say, a Tishra-based or Kanda-based Sangadi where it doesn't fit. When there's a lot of space, you can fit it. For example, if you take Taye Tripura Sundari Uma Maheshwari, you have this. Taye Tripura Sundari Dari. So Taye Tripura. Everything there is male column, right? So there is space for that. That doesn't deter the meaning of the Kriti. Also, this will not be suggested by a great because the entire structure of the kriti, it loses its shine when you sing, when you add more sangatis to it. But when you come to kritis like Orangashahi or Dharini Telusukunti, you have to, because that grandeur requires so much sangadis. So it's again a very tricky one. Yes, Sahitya Bhavam is compromised. At times, yes, Raga Bhavam is also compromised because you don't fall into the correct notes, the pitching. So you have to make sure that you maintain both, and you can just compromise on the sangati that you are singing, which is compromisable for me.
A simple question. Have you had experiences where, because of a Sahityam, you've been almost in a trance during a concert? And if so, do you have an example?
Yes, absolutely. Where, especially when you sing kritis like what I told, Kale Tuki Nindru, or even Amba Kamakshi, the Bhairavi Swarajati, and also Muthuswami Dikshithar's Soundarrajam, Brindavana Saranga. That entire kriti is filled with so much details of the structure of the temple, the area, the Murti, Soundarraja Perumal Murti himself. It's just bliss. You just have to hit that trance level when you're saying that. And that again comes with the knowledge of the Sahityam. Sahitya Bhavam is very important. If you don't know what it means, you will not feel that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in your mother tongue, when you sing something, anything, you just feel that bliss, right? That kind of effort should be taken for everything that you sing. It's not impossible and it's not easy. Yes, you just have to allot some time to that. That's all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, my pleasure.
We've learned so much from the lecture demonstration. Is there anything else you want to say on Sahitya Bhavam? Final words?
Final words, yes.
For beginners.
It's again my personal view. When you step into learning something, make sure that you know every aspect of it. You don't have to know everything about it. Just know what all are there when you're stepping into something that you're learning. And when you're learning vocal music, when you're learning instrumental music, doesn't matter. You have to know what you're singing, what you're playing. Even while playing, you can show the Sahityam, if I'm not wrong. I don't know any musical instruments, but I know so much that I've performed over the years, and I can relate to people who bring out the Sahityam while playing, be it in the veena or the violin or the flute. That's, for me, that is a must, because only when you give out the entire meaning or the mood of the kriti, you will be reached. That's when people will relate to you more than the sound that you produce. It's the connect that you have with them. And for beginners, just try. And there's so much material available in the net with books, so many publications. Just make a little effort to know whatever kritis you've learned, what do they mean, and don't shy away from asking your gurus or your seniors or people who you like about. Okay, I don't know about this kriti. I don't have an idea about this. Can you please explain or let me know? That is very welcoming, and it has to be done when you are seriously into this, and when you do this with everything that you've got.
Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure.
Could you perform us for a final song, please?
Yeah. Muruganin மறுபெயரழகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அந்த முறுவலில் மயங்குது உலகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அந்த முறுவலில் மயங்குது உலகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அழகு குளுமைக்கு அவனொரு நிலவு குளுமைக்கு அவனொரு நிலவு நீ குமராயன சொல்லி பழகு குளுமைக்கு அவனொரு நிலவு நீ குமராயன சொல்லி பழகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு வேதங்கள் கூறிடும் ஒளியே வேதங்கள் கூறிடும் ஒளியே உயர்வேலுடன் விளையாடும் ஏழிலே வேதங்கள் கூறிடும் ஒளியே உயர்வேலுடன் விளையாடும் எழிலே துறவியும் விரும்பிய உறவே உறவே துறவியும் விரும்பிய உறவே நீ துறவியாய் நின்றிட்ட திருவே துறவியும் விரும்பிய உறவே நீ துறவியாய் நின்றிட்ட திருவே முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அந்த முறுவலில் மயங்குது உலகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அழகு அழகு
That's so beautiful.
So
Thank you so
beautiful,
much.
sir.
Thank you. Sir. Excellent. Thank you.
I'd like to add one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me. I wish Saifa all the very best to take this Carnatic music to the ends of not only UK, the Europe, and the world itself. So I wish you all guys good luck. Hope you guys are practicing and staying safe
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Have a great day. Have a great year ahead. Let's hope that this situation gets better soon, and we'll get to have concerts very soon as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Good
much,
luck,
Thank you so
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.